Aldi built its reputation on seniors. Loyal, weekly, dependable shoppers. That loyalty is cracking. We talked to longtime customers, former employees, and store managers. We asked why so many older shoppers are quietly walking away in 2026. Some of these reasons are small. A few are serious enough to change where an entire generation buys groceries. Some changes crept in slowly. Others hit all at once. Seniors noticed immediately. Here are 15 reasons millions of seniors are done with Aldi. Number 15. The 25-cent cart deposit. That became a deal breaker. Aldi's cart deposit system used to feel like a quirky bonus. Pop in a quarter, get it back later, no big deal. For a lot of seniors in 2026, it stopped feeling like a quirk. It started feeling like an obstacle. Arthritis makes fishing a coin out of a coat pocket harder than it sounds. Cold weather makes frozen quarter slots even worse. One former cashier, a woman named Patricia, worked front end for 6 years. She told us she watched regulars struggle constantly. I watched regulars, people in their 70s and 80s, standing outside in the cold trying to get a quarter to release. Some of them just gave up and walked back to their car empty-handed. Aldi added a few contactless cart return options this year. Employees say the rollout has been slow and uneven. Patricia said some regulars started keeping a spare quarter taped inside their car console. A few even asked staff to hold on to extra quarters behind the counter. It was never official policy. It happened anyway out of simple courtesy. For younger shoppers, it is a minor inconvenience. For seniors managing mobility issues, it has become one more reason to choose a different store. Some regulars have started avoiding carts altogether. They use small handheld baskets instead, even for a full week of groceries. It is slower. It is also less painful than fighting with a frozen coin slot in January. It sounds like a small complaint, but small complaints add up fast. The next one on this list involves something seniors looked forward to every single week. Number 14. The bakery section. That quietly disappeared. Aldi never had a full in-store bakery like some competitors. For years, it carried a rotating lineup of fresh-baked bread, cookies, and pastries near the front of the store. In many locations, that section has shrunk down to almost nothing. Frank is a retired mechanic who has shopped at the same Aldi for over a decade. He said the bakery shelf used to be stocked twice a week. Now he says it is hit or miss. Some weeks, it barely gets restocked at all. Employees say corporate has been shifting shelf space toward rotating specialty items instead. Those items move faster and carry better margins. For seniors who built a weekly routine around a favorite loaf of bread, that shift feels personal. Routines matter more than people realize once retirement sets in. Frank asked a stalker once if the bakery would ever return to a regular schedule. The answer was that it depends on regional demand data. He has no way of tracking himself. That kind of uncertainty makes planning a weekly trip much harder. A few other longtime shoppers said the same thing. They used to build entire meals around whatever bread was fresh that week. Now they just do not bother checking anymore. They assume the shelf will be empty before they even walk down that aisle. If you want to catch every one of these changes before they hit your own local store, hit that subscribe button right now. We track these stories every single week. Losing a favorite bakery item is frustrating. But number 13 involves a change that pushed a lot of seniors out of the store entirely, at least for a while. Number 13. The self-checkout push. That left seniors behind Aldi has historically leaned on staffed lanes. That was part of its appeal for older shoppers who preferred a real person at checkout. That is changing. Several locations expanded self-checkout kiosks throughout 2025 and into 2026. Some stores reduced staffed lanes down to just 1 or 2 during slower hours. A store manager named Gregory oversees a location in the Midwest. He admitted the transition has been rough. We get complaints weekly. Seniors come in, see 2 lanes open and 6 kiosks, and they just turn around and leave. Scanning barcodes, weighing produce, and navigating a touchscreen is not intuitive for everyone. It is especially hard for shoppers who never grew up with the technology. Some stores added an employee specifically to help at the kiosks. Staffing shortages mean that helper is not always available. Gregory said one regular customer, a widow in her 80s, now brings her grandson along just to run the kiosk for her. Not every senior has that option. Gregory admits it bothers him more than he expected. For a chain built on simplicity, this shift towards self-service technology has alienated exactly the customers who valued that simplicity the most. Some stores have started offering a short verbal walkthrough near the kiosk entrance. It helps first-time users understand the basic steps. Employees say it helps a little. It does not fully replace having a real person run the register the way it used to be. That frustration at the register is bad enough. But number 12 involves something seniors say makes an entire shopping trip harder from the moment they walk in. Number 12, the store layout changes. Nobody warned them about ALDI has been remodeling stores across the country. Shelving gets updated, aisles get moved, categories shift around. For a first-time shopper, that might sound like an improvement. For a senior who memorized the store after 10 years, it feels disorienting. Deborah is a retired school teacher. She walked into her remodeled local store and could not find the canned vegetables. She said it took her 20 extra minutes to find items she used to grab in under 5. Employees confirmed that remodels often happen with little advance notice. Sometimes it is just a small sign posted the week before. Deborah now brings a handwritten list organized by the old layout out of habit. She has to cross-reference it against whatever new arrangement she finds that week. She joked that grocery shopping started to feel like relearning a new job every few months. For seniors managing limited energy, extra time spent wandering the aisles is not a minor annoyance. It can turn a quick errand into an exhausting one. Some stores have started adding small paper maps near the entrance after a remodel. Deborah said hers did not have one for the first few weeks. By the time it appeared, she had already given up and switched most of her shopping to a store she knew better. Confusing layouts are one thing, but number 11 is about something shrinking right inside the packaging itself. Seniors on fixed incomes noticed immediately. Number 11, the shrinking portions. Behind the same price tag, shrinkflation has hit almost every grocery chain. Seniors say Aldi's changes stung more because the low prices were the entire appeal. Several longtime shoppers pointed to specific items. Cereal boxes, snack bags, and canned goods have quietly gotten smaller. The price stayed roughly the same or even increased slightly. A former stocker named Walter noticed it firsthand while restocking shelves. The box looked identical to the one from a year before, but it held less. I checked the weight on the label a few times just to be sure I wasn't imagining it. For seniors living on fixed retirement incomes, every ounce matters. Grocery budgets get calculated down to the dollar. Walter said a few regulars started bringing their own small kitchen scale into the store. They double-check weights against the label before buying. It sounds extreme, but he says he understands why people feel like they need to verify it themselves now. Walter also mentioned that a few customers started comparing photos of old packaging against new packaging. They share the pictures with each other in the parking lot. It has become a strange kind of community effort, all built around simply feeling misled. Shrinking portions chip away at trust slowly. Number 10 involves a product disappearing altogether. Seniors had built entire weekly meals around it. Number 10, the Discontinued house brand. Seniors, dependent on ALDI, rotates its private label products constantly. A handful of discontinuations in the past year hit senior shoppers especially hard. One specific canned soup line was a favorite among budget-conscious retirees. It was quietly pulled from shelves nationwide with little explanation. Ruth is a widow in her 70s who lives alone. She built an entire weekly meal plan around that soup because it was affordable, easy to prepare, and gentle on her digestion. When it disappeared, she felt genuinely lost trying to find a replacement. Employees say discontinuations like this happen based on sales data and supplier contracts. Those decisions get made far away from the people who actually depend on these products every week. Ruth wrote a letter to corporate asking why the soup disappeared. She never received a response beyond an automated confirmation email. She has since tried 3 different replacement brands. None of them, in her words, taste quite right yet. Ruth said the hardest part was not the taste of the new brands. It was the feeling that a small daily comfort had simply been taken away without warning. She still checks the shelf every visit, just in case it quietly comes back one day. For younger shoppers, switching brands is a minor adjustment. For someone managing a strict routine, it can mean starting over completely. Losing a favorite product is hard enough on its own. But number 9 involves a policy change that cut off an entire group of shoppers from paying the way they always had. Number 9, the payment policy. That cut out cash customers. ALDI has always accepted cash. Several locations started encouraging card and app-based payments more aggressively. Some self-checkout kiosks default to card-only options. For seniors who prefer cash as a budgeting tool, this shift has caused real friction. Harold is a retired postal worker. He withdraws cash weekly specifically to control his spending, a habit he built decades ago. When he found a card-only kiosk at his local store, he had to wait for a staffed lane that was not always open. Employees confirmed that cash is still accepted everywhere, but the physical setup of newer registers makes cash transactions slower than they used to be. Harold now times his shopping trips around hours when a staffed lane will definitely be open. He never had to think about that before. He calls it planning around the store instead of the store working around him. Harold said a few of his friends have started avoiding the self-checkout section entirely. They wait even if the line is longer at a staffed lane. He says it is less about stubbornness and more about wanting to feel like a person, not a transaction. Payment friction is frustrating in the moment. But number 8 involves something seniors deal with before they even step inside the store. Number 8, the parking lot redesign that made trips harder. Several ALDI locations underwent parking lot renovations in the past year. New cart corrals, repainted spaces, fewer accessible spots near the entrance. For seniors with mobility challenges, a close parking spot is not a luxury. It is often the difference between a manageable trip and a painful one. Margaret is a retired nurse who uses a cane. Her local store moved its handicap spaces further from the entrance during a recent remodel. She now has to walk nearly twice as far just to get inside. Store managers say renovations are typically driven by corporate design standards. Those standards aim to improve traffic flow for the average shopper. Individual accessibility needs rarely factor into the plan. Margaret raised the issue directly with a store manager. He was sympathetic, but explained the layout came from a regional design plan. He had no authority to change. She has since started scheduling her trips for times when a closer overflow spot is more likely to be open. Margaret said she has thought about writing a formal complaint to corporate. She has not done it yet. She said it is hard to find the energy after already spending it just getting through the parking lot. If this list has been useful so far, do us a favor and hit that like button. Share this video with a family member who still shops at ALDI every week. They deserve to know this too. Parking is just the entrance to the problem. Number 7 involves a service seniors relied on once they were already inside the store. Number 7, the customer service line that vanished. ALDI never had elaborate customer service counters. Most locations kept at least one employee available near the front for returns and questions. In 2026, staffing cuts at several locations made that kind of help harder to find. Employees say lean staffing models mean fewer workers are on the floor at any given time. Most focus on stocking shelves or running registers instead of handling customer questions. Eleanor is a retired librarian. She tried to return a damaged item and waited nearly 15 minutes just to find someone who could help her. She said it was the first time in years she left an ALDI without buying anything at all. She later called the store's general number. She got routed through an automated system before reaching someone who could process her return over the phone. The entire process took longer than the original shopping trip itself. For seniors who value asking a real person a quick question, the disappearance of staff support has made shopping feel more isolating. Eleanor said she has started calling ahead before any trip that involves a return or a question. It adds an extra step to something that used to be simple. She said simple used to be the entire reason she liked shopping there. A missing customer service line is a quiet frustration, but number 6 involves something seniors can see and taste immediately. It has become a common complaint in recent months. Number 6, the produce quality complaints. That piled up ALDI built a loyal following on fresh, affordable produce. Several longtime shoppers say quality has slipped noticeably over the past year. Complaints range from bruised fruit to vegetables that spoil faster than expected. Sometimes it happens within just a couple of days of purchase. A produce manager named Samuel has worked at the same store for nearly 8 years. He admitted that supply chain pressures have changed how often certain shipments arrive. We used to produce trucks more consistently. Now there are gaps, and sometimes what comes in just is not as fresh as it should be. Samuel personally pulls the worst-looking items before they hit the shelf. He cannot catch everything, especially on busy mornings when the store is short-staffed. Seniors often shop more frequently in smaller quantities rather than stockpiling. They notice quality issues faster than shoppers who buy in bulk and freeze extras. Dorothy is a retired accountant. She switched half her produce shopping to a competitor after finding mold on strawberries twice within the same month. She now inspects every bag of produce carefully before leaving the store. That has added extra time to every single trip. Dorothy said she misses simply trusting what was on the shelf. Checking every bag before buying feels less like shopping and more like inspecting. She said that alone has started to outweigh the savings she used to count on. Produce complaints erode trust slowly over time. But number 5 involves a benefit other stores offer that ALDI has never matched. Seniors are finally speaking up about it. Number 5. The loyalty program that left seniors out. Most major grocery chains now offer some kind of loyalty program or senior discount day. ALDI has largely stayed away from all of it. For years, low prices made up for the lack of a rewards program. In 2026, with prices creeping upward, that trade-off feels less worth it. Competing chains in the many regions now offer a specific weekly senior discount day. ALDI has never rolled out anything like it nationally. Carol is a retired office manager. She started splitting her shopping between 2 stores specifically because a nearby competitor gives her an extra discount on Tuesdays. It is not huge, but it adds up every month. ALDI doesn't offer me anything extra for being a loyal customer of over 15 years. Carol brought up the idea to a store employee once, half joking that 15 years of loyalty should count for something. The employee agreed personally but said corporate has never seriously discussed a rewards program at her location. Without any kind of loyalty structure, longtime senior shoppers feel unacknowledged. Carol said she still shops at ALDI for certain staples. She no longer treats it as her main store. She said splitting her loyalty between 2 chains was never something she wanted to do, but it started to feel necessary. That feeling matters more than people expect. Number 4 involves the one thing that made ALDI worth all these inconveniences in the first place. It has been slipping too. Number 4, the price increases that erased ALDI's reputation. ALDI's entire identity has always centered on rock-bottom prices. That reputation convinced generations of seniors to overlook smaller stores and limited selection. In 2026, several staple items will see noticeable price increases. Some rose by 10% or more compared to just 2 years earlier. Norman is a retired truck driver. He keeps a running list of prices in a small notebook, a habit from decades of managing tight budgets. He showed us his usual cart, the exact same items every week. It now costs him nearly $20 more per month than it did before. Employees say rising supplier costs and inflation are largely to blame. ALDI still remains cheaper than most traditional grocery chains overall. Norman compared the exact same cart from 2 years earlier side by side. Seeing the numbers written out in his own handwriting made the increase feel more real than any headline about inflation ever could. For seniors on fixed incomes, the gap between ALDI and everywhere else has narrowed just enough. The extra effort of driving to a discount store no longer feels worth the savings. Norman said he still shops at ALDI, out of habit more than pure savings now. He admits the math used to make the decision easy. Now it takes him longer to convince himself the trip is still worth it. Rising prices alone might not have been enough to drive shoppers away, but number 3 involves a safety concern that made some seniors stop trusting the store altogether. Number 3, the recall. Nobody heard about Smart until it was too late. Earlier this year, a private label product was pulled from shelves nationwide following a safety recall. Details spread slowly. Several customers say they only found out after already consuming the product. Employees confirmed that recall notices are typically posted near the entrance and sent through the ALDI app. Seniors who do not regularly use the app can easily miss them entirely. Evelyn is a retired nurse. She found out about the recall from her daughter days after already eating the product several times. I felt sick just thinking about it, not because I got sick, but because I had no idea there was even a problem. Evelyn has since asked her local store to mail a paper notice to her address for any future recalls. The manager said he would pass along the request, but could not guarantee the corporation would approve it. It left her feeling like her safety was somebody else's decision to make. For a generation less likely to rely on smartphone notifications, a digital-only recall system leaves a dangerous gap. Evelyn said she now asks her daughter to check the ALDI app for her every few weeks. It gives her some peace of mind. She still wishes she did not have to rely on someone else just to feel safe buying groceries. Trust, once shaken by a health scare, is hard to rebuild. Number 2 involves something that has hit senior communities harder than almost any other change on this list. Number 2, the closures, hitting senior-heavy neighborhoods. First, ALDI has continued expanding overall. Several closures in the past year targeted specific locations in older, senior-heavy neighborhoods. Corporate often cited lower profit margins compared to newer suburban stores. For seniors without easy access to a car, a nearby ALDI closing is not a small inconvenience. It can mean losing access to affordable groceries entirely. Theodore is a retired veteran living on a fixed pension. He relied on walking to his neighborhood ALDI for over a decade. When it closed last year, the nearest remaining location was over 4 miles away. That is a distance he can no longer manage without help. Community advocates say closures like this disproportionately affect elderly residents. Limited transportation options turn a simple grocery run into a logistical challenge. Theodore said a neighbor now drives him to the further location twice a month. He has cut back on how often he shops overall. He does not want to ask for a ride too frequently. He said losing that short walk down the street cost him more independence than he expected. For a chain built on accessibility, walking away from senior-heavy neighborhoods feels like walking away from the exact customers who built that reputation. Theodore said he understands stores need to stay profitable. He said profitability should not always come at the expense of the customers who showed up loyally for years. He said that trade-off feels backwards to him. That kind of loss is deeply personal, but number one is the change seniors mention more than any other. It finally convinced millions to walk away for good. Number one, the senior discount day that quietly disappeared. For years, rumors circulated about ALDI rolling out a nationwide senior discount. Competitors had offered something similar for decades. Some stores briefly tested small discount days for older shoppers. In 2026, those tests quietly ended, with no explanation or announcement. For seniors who counted on that discount, its disappearance felt like the final straw. Shrinking portions, rising prices, and vanishing service had already worn them down. Beatrice, a retired seamstress who shopped at ALDI for over 20 years, said the discount removal finally pushed her to switch stores for good. It wasn't about the money. It was feeling like they didn't care anymore. Former employees confirmed these decisions come from far above the store level, driven by profit targets, not loyalty. Beatrice has since moved most of her shopping to a competitor that still runs a weekly senior discount, and encouraged friends to do the same. She said it was never about the money saved. It was about feeling noticed somewhere else. The switch was quiet, the same way the discount disappeared. Quiet decisions like that add up until loyalty runs out. 15 reasons. 15 small cracks that added up to something millions of seniors could no longer ignore. None of these changes happened overnight. They built up slowly, one decision at a time, until the store that once felt made for seniors stopped feeling that way. Now you know what's been driving shoppers away and what to watch for at your own local store. Keep this list in mind on your next shopping trip. A little advanced knowledge is the difference between noticing these changes early and getting caught off guard. Thanks for watching. If that matters to you, hit that like button and subscribe. We're exposing what ALDI doesn't want seniors to know, so you never get pushed out of the store you built your routine around. The video on your screen? It's the next piece of the puzzle. Click on it on the left and I'll meet you there.